guys, it's me Julia. I'm back again with another kiln opening. Sorry it's been a while. I think it's kiln opening number 16 and I'll just get straight to it because I've got quite a few bits to show you. Where will I start? Okay, I'm going to start with this little bowl. I've been really loving coil work recently and I've just been, it's much easier on my hand, it just feels very organic, and so I have done a set of 3 different sized ones, but this is the only one that's out of the kiln so far. Note the slightly different colour. They were both buff clays but from different bags. Just kind of weird, isn't it? But yeah, so the inside I've coiled up and then I've smoothed the inside down to make it, I mean, not perfectly smooth because I quite like the texture. And inside that is Mayco Nose Blue, and around the edge is just a teeny little bit of manganese oxide just to give it a little colour. I mean, it has where some of the coils, the curled up coils, it has kind of broken through very slightly, but it's still sealed, just so you can see them. This little bowl is going to my friend Jean because it was her birthday and we're having a little afternoon tea for her tomorrow. So right, next, this is a little set I made of, I'll show you these. So 3 sizes. There's the large, medium, small one. The little vases, and they were made from lots and lots of squares, all stacked up. So I cut the inside, so like a square, and then I cut a square out of it, if that makes sense. But it was quite satisfying to do because I really like that shape. And then that is Amaco obsidian, and on the top of that is a variety of blue lagoon, textured turquoise, seaweed. And I tend to just do a layer of each and then another layer of each, and you know, it goes like that. Same on the little one. In fact, I think the little one was made from the inside squares that I cut out from this one. And then same on the medium one. But something really different. That's why I love hand building, because you can just get such a variety. You can't get anything like that when you throw. So that's those. I also made a set of little containers for, this is just my own kitchen, in 3 different sizes and a variety of colours. And I did them in black and white. I got some sample clays from Valentine's. The black was very, very groggy, but I managed to burnish it and it came smooth and came out looking nice. And the white, I don't think that was one of my samples from Valentine. I think the white is birch white from Pot Clays or Pottery Crafts. Can't remember which. I think Pot Clays, but it's called birch white. But I did the same colour in each of the white and the black. So just to show you, those are the same colours but on white and black, which I believe that was a combination of blue lagoon, blue rutile, I think there was even a little bit of chun plum in there. It's been a while and I didn't write it down. And there'll be some emerald falls in there as well. So I went down only to about maybe there, and then it left its own line, you know, where it started to get a little bit drippy. I love drips. So just little feet on the bottom just to lift them up a little bit and help them to stack better. So those are the same colour. Such a different outcome on the black clay. I would say that was chun plum and blue lagoon, I think it was, over the top of that. You can just see some pink underneath. But that's come out really browny. But they're all lovely, like I love them. I use them as little dip pots for sauces. Chun plum and smoky mallow. All of these are Amaco. But again, just such different colours. Again, the black seemed to have just brought brown out of everything. But I guess that's whatever they use to colour the black, or whether it's manganese or something like that. It's just dulled the colour, and inside's almost gone metallic. So that was chun plum and smoky mallow. That was chun plum and blue rutile, I think, that one. And that was all my blues and greens. So Emerald Falls, Seaweed and Blue Lagoon. And you could just see the little kind of blues and greens coming out on the bottom of the drips. But other than that, he's brown again. But that drip effect on there, I absolutely love. It's just very organic and natural. It just falls where it wants to fall. So that was those. I'll show you these two. These are from little molds that I got off Temu. These are, it's a little heart shape and it's all tiny little roses. Don't know if you can see that. It's quite hard to see. You can see it more on the brown one. But I believe that was smoky mallow, but that hasn't come out very smoky. I might have put a bit of blue rutile on top, thinking I was being clever, and turned it brown. And that one is birch. Yeah, I do love birch still. So just like little paperweights, or you could put a hole in before you fire it and make it into a pendant. It would be quite heavy though. I would scoop out the back if you were going to do that. But I just thought they were really cute, just to kind of put on your desk and just hold your paper down. And for Valentine's, that's a kind of cute thing. Not that it's anywhere near Valentine's Day. Okay, had a little bit of scrap clay left over when I was making all these little pots, and so just played and made this little wide rimmed pot. It has a texture, little lined texture. You can maybe just see that in the light there, got little ribs, and it has a teeny little crack where it was just not joining properly, and a seam. I left it a raw seam, and that is River Rock, Amaco River Rock. Little bit of blue on the edge. I've not got blue out of River Rock before, but mostly poopy brown. But yeah, nice to see what it's like on the white. And next I'm going to show you these funny little things. I decided to make some cookies with the Oreo mold. I think I might have shown you the cookies actually. This is how they turned out. Now I mixed black and caramel to try to make like a dark brown in my Bellissimo glazes, which are like stroke and coat, but I don't know if you can see, it's slightly patchy. But there's the cream. The patterns come out brilliant. I absolutely love them. I was going to make like a kind of an arty thing and display them all in a actual Oreo packet. But I've given one away already, so I'll probably give them away. I give everything away. Next, please. Okay. I bought a few slip casting molds from a lady who lives not too far from me. And the first one I got was this one. I don't slip cast, and I wanted to see if I could do them just by pressing clay in. And it kind of worked once and then didn't work again. I will learn how to slip cast. She said that she would show me, but I haven't got round to it yet. But this was the one kind of successful piece, and I've called her Invisible Illness, which is kind of a bit macabre. But you know, she's a beautiful little angel, but all perfect on the outside. And then when you look inside, she's got all this black scribbly horrible stuff, because she shows what invisible illness is like. You can look all perfect, but you don't know what's going on inside somebody. Anyway, as I said, that's a little bit macabre, but it was how I was feeling at the time. So she has oatmeal for her clothes and blue rutile for her wings and Amaco iron for her hair, and cherry blossom on her skin, her little hands there and her face. That was the best that I could do with it. I didn't feel like the wings were on the right way, but that's how they fit into this section here. So for me they're upside down, but they didn't fit the other way because those points came below the body, unless she's meant to sit on something where the wings are below. I don't know, but this is how she turned out, but I quite like her. And next piece, I made this big garden hanging. So I bought a bucket that had a small kind of washing up bowl size piece in it and a lid. I think it was from Dunelm, which is like a homeware store in England. And I used the lid as a template for like this base. So I carved in the back because I didn't want it to be too flat. I figured if I carved in quite deeply, that it might help it move a little bit in the kiln, because it's heavy, you know, it's got lots of weight on it, and I really thought it was going to crack. But I think that carving into it just help give a little bit of air, a little bit of space underneath it. And then I started with the outside with lots of balls of clay, and then I used, I think it was a ball tool to press down each of the kind of petal shapes around. Then I did slightly smaller balls, did the same, slightly smaller, and then some tiny little balls in the middle for kind of the center of a flower, if you want to call it that. Then when it came to glazing it, I iron oxide the base and then wiped it back. I love iron oxide. It's kind of one of my favorite things at the minute. And then we did birch all around, Amaco iron, and then inside each of the little petals, except for the two where there are holes on this side, each of the little petals I put a tiny bit of sea glass. That is why you see some of them have this milky kind of consistency inside there, because the sea glass has like lots of impurities in. And then this, around this row I did, this was white sea glass, and around this row was green sea glass. So I don't know if you can see. The green's a little more successful than the white. The white seems to have quite a lot of impurities, but it was just to kind of give it a little bit of something else. But I quite like the back as much as I like the front. So it's kind of, which side do I display? I think I have to display that side. But yeah, I love it. It's going to go on my new little studio space. It'll hang up on the outside of that, or maybe even inside. That is actually getting started next week, which is really exciting. So 1 week today, my little studio is going to start getting built, and it should be finished by the end of next week. And then I can get my electric sorted. Then I can get back to firing my own kiln, which, yay. Okay, 2 more little things here. Right, I've been, as you know, I'd made quite a few kind of elliptical spheres, which I have hanging up outside. And again, I just had another one I was playing with. This started out really different. I had something completely, I can't remember what the pattern was, but I had a completely different pattern on it. And I ended up scraping it all back and doing something else because I really didn't like it. I'm not that keen on this either, but it's better than the other one was. But it's just another one to go hang up outside. I think at the moment I've got, it's raining outside, but I can maybe show you. Let's see if you can see. Actually there, you can just see it hanging up outside. On my little screen it doesn't look very big, but it might look better on yours. And that at the top there is going to be where my, that's going to be where my little studio space is going to be. So I might put those, the 4 that I've got hanging on a longer piece of driftwood, and then hang this one on there as well. And I have this one, an actual sphere. Yeah, again, this one started out quite differently and I changed my mind. It had all sorts of patterns. So it ended up with this flower pattern at the bottom, which I iron oxide. That one was iron oxide as well, quite heavy. I iron oxided this kind of flower at the bottom so that when it was sitting in the kiln, I made like a little ring for it to sit on. Whilst it was sitting on that, it wasn't going to stick. The rest is with birch, which just, it was about 1.5 coats of birch, quite light, because I didn't want it to cover up the carving, so you can see better. So that's going to hang outside as well. I'm not sure whether it's going to hang that way with that flower on top or that way, but they should make two. That one I might do on its own because it is quite yummy on its own, so I might do that one alongside this one on the outside of my new little workshop, maybe on a hanging basket hanger, so that it, you know, has some movement without banging into the side of the shed, workshop, whatever you want to call it. Now lastly, I wanted to show you this because it's not pottery, however I did make it, and Jacob very kindly bought me, that's my son, very kindly bought me a wood turning workshop for my birthday. And so I asked if I could make things that would be relevant for my pottery, that I could use for my pottery. So I made a bowl which I can use as a mould. I'll only do it once as a mould and then keep the bowl because I don't want to make it too dirty. But the wood grain is gorgeous, and it has a tiny little foot on the bottom. And then we had a little bit of spare time, and I asked him if I could make a texture roller. It is slightly narrower at this side than this side, but that was the tutor's fault, not mine actually. But I cut all of the grooves in. I haven't used it yet, but just another little texture roller to add to my other rollers. So I think that's it. There are quite a few pieces still to come out of the kiln, so I might be able to do another video before I get back to actually doing my own kiln openings. Yeah, because I've still got there's a medium size to this one in white clay, I think it is, and a large size in a red clay that I got from Valentine's. And I should have those tomorrow, which I'm quite excited to see how they turn out. Yeah, so that's it for now. And I just want to say that I'm really, really grateful for you all sticking there with me while I haven't been doing so many videos. And I really appreciate the people who've reached out to me and have asked how I am and said they missed me, and like, just, you're so great, all of you. Hopefully I can get back into the flow once I get my little building and start making and have more regular videos. And if you do want me to do some tutorials, I can get started on those as well. So I shall say goodbye for now, and I just want to wish you all a really great day, and thanks again for watching. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe if you can, because it really does help my channel. I'm so thrilled with the amount of followers I've got. Like, the subscribers is just amazing. So you know, if you do want to subscribe and be notified when I get new videos out, they should be coming out more often from now on. So thanks again, guys. Have a brilliant day. Bye.